let me see. All right, so one time I was on a train, right, coming from, I was hosting a joint at the Hammerstein Ballroom and shit. So I'm coming home, and it was weird because when I was on my way home, for some reason I was like, I want to have sex tonight, and I was like going home alone. I didn't really, the girl that I went there with, like, she got sick, so then I had to put her in a cab and she had to go home. So I was like, damn, I ain't gonna be fucking her tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chilling, working there, whatever. And I'm so busy working that by the time everything was done, I wasn't really getting I wasn't talking to nobody, like, too much. I was on some, like, networking, trying to get some money shit, right? So I go home and I'm like, damn, it was like I was calling for it. And this is, I guess, you could say it's like law of attraction shit or whatever. But I get on a train and I'm sitting there, and there's this chick sitting right across from me, and we're like, we facing each other, whatever. And this is how I had my dreadlocks, whatever. So she's like, oh, yeah. She's like, I like your hair, or whatever. She's like, I like your hair. So I'm, talking. I'm like, yeah, thanks, whatever. She had some little nice jacket thing on. I was like, oh, it's cool. I sat next to her, and we started talking for like 5-10 minutes. And it was real late. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And it was one of the things where the trains had to, like, stop, and, we had to take a shuttle bus, right? So we're flirting. So we're walking out the train station, right? And we're, like, quiet for about, like, 2 minutes, just walking out. We're just walking next to each other. And then she looks at me and she says, I'm sorry, but I can't take you home tonight, right? So I'm like, what? I was like, wow, I was like, you want to take me home? And she's like, I want to, but I don't think I should, because, I don't know, I've never done this before. I was like, oh, you never had a one-night stand? She was like, no, I've never done a guy. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, wow. So, right, so my head is gas. So I'm like, all right, I'm like, word, okay. So, she said she's kissed a guy, but she never had sex with a guy, right? So
wow, that's sweet.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm like, yo, I was like, it's the first time for everything, you know what I mean? So I was like, you know what? And she was like, oh, no, I don't think I should. And I was like, you sure? She's like, yeah, I don't think so. I was like, all right, cool, so I'll see you later. And like I said to her, I was like, all right, cool, I'll see you. Like, I like quickly was like removing myself from her. And she's like, no. She grabs me. She's like, no, come back. And I'm like, yo, listen. I was like, and then I was like, you know what, let's catch a cab. So when she grabbed me, I just got a cab that quick. You know what I'm saying? And it was weird. That was the quickest I ever got a cab because, I'm black and shit and that shit. You know how the story goes. Whatever, cabs trying to, that bullshit. But anyway, so the cab stops for some reason, but and the chick, she was a white chick, so it was like, I go in the cab with her, and then she tells the cab driver her address, whatever. So, all right, so now this is the part that I was scared, right? Because we go into the house, right? And I forgot to tell you, this girl, she had short hair, right? And she was slim. Like she had a nice body, but she was slim. So, and she had a coat on, so I couldn't really see the boobs or whatever. So I'm thinking to myself, I hope this is not a dude. You know what I'm saying? Because she had a short haircut, but she looked like a girl. But you know how shit is nowadays. Sometimes you don't really know what the fuck's going on, right? So I say to myself, so she goes in the bathroom, and she has a coat on. She goes in the bathroom, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna, get freshen up. So she's like in the bathroom and shit, and yeah, I guess she took off her shit. So she comes out, and she just has on like a t-shirt. So now I see the boobs, and I'm like, okay, cool. She's a t-shirt, she got the boobs out. I mean, not the boobs out, but she had I can see the boobs poking through the t-shirt. So then she, so she's like walking out. She has like panties on and shit and t-shirt, and we start kissing or whatever. And I'm like, I'm rubbing up on her clit because I'm like, okay, let me make sure this is really not a guy. So I'm rubbing up on her clit and shit. So I'm like, so I'm like, okay, cool, it's a chick. So next, like we're kissing or whatever. And then she pulls out the condoms, puts it on me, whatever. And like I'm like kind of fingering her, or whatever.
Yo,
and
don't
she's
you
like,
love that, son? I love that when they put it on you. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm like, what? And she put it on with the mouth, and I'm like, wait a second.
Oh, like, that's the best. Oh my God, that's the best. Girls out there that do that, 5 points. 5 points.
Exactly.
For real.
So I'm like, yo, and I'm thinking, damn, you never been with a dude and you could do that good and whatever. So, but I ain't saying that, I'm just like, whatever.
Right.
So she puts it on whatever.
I'm playing stupid. Do your thing.
Yeah, so she puts it on whatever. She's giving me head with the condom and all that other stuff. So then I'm filling the coochie, whatever. So then I put so then I get on top of her, and like she's wet or whatever, and then I'm trying to stick it in. It is like super tight. She's pretty much like a virgin. Like she says she's never had sex with a dude, so it's like I'm pretty much like I'm like
opening the door.
Yeah,
Hard body.
So she's like, I didn't even get like the head in. It was like almost like half the head in, and she's like screaming, and it's like, oh my God, it hurts, and hold on, and so it took us about like it had to have been at least 5 to 10 minutes before I even got it in halfway. You know what I'm saying? And she's screaming, and she's like, oh, it's, and then after a while, like we did it for probably like 5 minutes, and then she said it was hurting. And then we had stopped, and we did it again for like another like 10 to 15 minutes and shit. And then I didn't come because it was just like too quick, and then it was still good, but it was like, the whole experience was good. But then she like, she was like, she can't take anymore. And then she fell asleep, and then, the next morning was just mad awkward. I was just like
wow.
we both just fell because I was like tired. We fell asleep. We woke up. We were both naked there. I still got the condom on and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, smelling like sex and everything. It was just like, so we just get up and shit. And then I never seen her, like after that, I never seen her again. And then out of the blue, she texted me like a year and a half later, and she was like, oh, hey, I was thinking about you, and I want to do it again or whatever, but
oh, she wants you to open the door again, son.
So I couldn't get that popping. But yeah, that was I had to work that day, so I didn't make it happen. But yeah, that was cool, man. Like my, I was hyped because I was like, the chick was a lesbian and she wanted to do me and shit. And I'm like I felt all special. I was the guy. I mean, it could have all been bullshit, but whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, fuck it, And the moral of that story is, ladies, you need to fuck more guys you meet on the train. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm kidding. You don't have to do that, but you should. You should. It's fun. You know what I'm saying? And if a lesbian chick that doesn't even like men can actually, get the courage to try something new and exciting, you ladies can do it too, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.